Hey, 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports. And today, let's go and answer some mailbag questions here as submitted by you, our subscribers, on our community page. If you're not a subscriber, you probably didn't see the request for a mailbag question, which is why you should be subscribed. But either way, let's go and jump into it. First one here is from Sion, who says, what draft pick do you think the 49ers will get first for the Jets, Jaguars, and Bengals? So it's interesting. It doesn't look like they'll be able to get a top 10 draft pick. I could be wrong on my math here, but the Niners do need to lose on Sunday to improve the draft stock, something that a lot of teams do at the week 17. And if they were to lose versus win, the draft difference can be 5, 6, 7 picks, which is very, very critical, honestly, right now in the National Football League. So I'm just going to read off picks 10 through 19 right now. If it were to end today, Denver at 5 and 10 would be your 10th overall pick. And then you have a bunch of people from 11 to 15 who are 6 and 9. Dallas, Chargers, Vikings, Patriots, and 49ers. Now that's in the order that they are. The 49ers right now are the 15th overall pick, which tells you that the tiebreakers, and they look at division record and conference record and strength of schedule to decide which tied record teams go above each other in the NFL draft. But this tells you that the 49ers have a we say worse shot at a higher draft pick than the Patriots, Vikings, Chargers, and Cowboys because they're further down right now in the overall draft list. So if they lose on Sunday, the Cowboys win, the Chargers win, the Vikings win, and the Patriots win, then the best that they could be there is number 11. If they were to win on Sunday, then they could potentially fall all the way down to 16, but they could be no worse than 16 because the Cardinals right now are 8 and 7 and would be 8 and 8, and the Niners' best they can do right now is 7 and 9. So it's looking honestly like it'll be obviously a teen pick, but it'll be probably either between 15 and 12, but no worse than 15 overall. So losing Sunday does have an impact because 15 versus 12 is a difference, but a top 10 pick is not going to happen. I mean, winning the game against winning last week, I should say, was kind of a big crucial, against the Cardinals, was kind of a crucial blow to your top 10 chances, and the Niners will pick kind of similarly to where they were back last year when they went ahead and took two players, one in the teens, of course, Javon Kinlaw, I think 14 overall, and then Brandon Ayuk at 25. Drop a like, though, if you guys agree. Like lose on Sunday. I have no wish to beat the Seattle Seahawks. It would be fun. The Seahawks are already going to essentially probably win their division. They're guaranteed to be a playoff team. Good job. Have fun. Whatever. We don't care. We want a nice draft pick. Losing makes it at least a couple of spots better. Drop a like if you guys agree. Pate says, if Jalen Hurts gets healthy and is available to play, think he can be a breakout player for us. Yes, but I worry about Jalen Hurts because we've asked this question, 3? It'll be going on 3 off seasons in a row. He's a rookie. He's drafted. It's like, is he going to be a great wide receiver? I'm like, yeah, for sure. I love him. Baylor grad. He's a Baylor grad. Covered him. He's fantastic. And then he got hurt. And I was like, all right. Then last offseason, it was like, is Jalen Hurts going to be great? And it's like, yes, for sure. Comeback player of the year is going to be fantastic. And then he got hurt again. Back-to-back season-ending injuries without playing any time week 1. I mean, literally has not played in a regular season game. Is not good. It's not a good sign. It's not good for his longevity. It might not be good for his playing ability due to the fact that there have been 2 major injuries so far. So I worry about him. I'm not putting any stock in Jalen Hurts being impactful in 2021. Any impact he has in 2021 is a bonus. I think that's how we should see it. It's like an extra draft pick where you go, we have this guy. Oh, wow, he actually is turning out to be pretty good. But by no means is this going to be like a guaranteed as soon as he's healthy, he's going to be right there with Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Don't see it. I worry about him. I hope so, but I do worry about him. Do you guys think he can come back again? Are you worried? If you're not, then just say, I feel confident in Jalen Hurts. If not, then type N down below. Y for yes, N for no. I mean, I believe in his ability. I just worry about back-to-back season-ending injuries. Eyeball Eater Yum. That's a good name. Okay, let's jump into what do you think of us drafting Gregory Rousseau? How would he make our D-line unstoppable and wouldn't need a first-round corner then? So Rousseau's the best defensive end in the draft. That's a fact. Now, I think he might fall out of the top 10. Looking at draft, different mock drafts and different people talking about the NFL draft. It's still early, by the way, but people do this. We're doing it right now. There'll be a run on quarterbacks. So you're going to see Zach Wilson go in the top 10. You might see Trey Lance go in the top 10. And there's I think a very high chance you go ahead and get 3, maybe 4 quarterbacks overall taken in the top 10. That's 4 picks that are not defensive ends or cornerbacks or wide receivers. I think Micah Parsons goes inside the top 10. I think you're going to have Devontae Smith goes inside the top 10. I think Jamar Chase goes inside the top 10. That right there is 7 players. And then Patrick Surtain might go ahead and jump up. That's 8. Penny Sewell, that's 9. So you can go ahead and fill up the top 10. That does not include Gregory Rousseau, even though he is the best defensive end, because he's the best defensive end, but he's not Chase Young. Chase Young was like, I can't miss, you got to have. And Rousseau is similar. He's just a little bit smaller in terms of overall weight. I think strength is probably a question mark. He's quick, he's fast, he's tall, but I think there's some question marks there at overall dominating abilities against the best left tackles and right tackles in the league. But with all that being said, I think he could fall. We just talked about draft stock to 12 or 13, and the Niners could go ahead and take him. Do they need a pass rusher with Nick Bosa coming back? No. I would rather have Patrick Surtain, but if Surtain is gone, and I think the other cornerback out of NC State, the one who's really good, if he's gone as well, and you sit there and you go, we don't need wide receiver, well, offensive line's not great right now, obviously not running back, but quarterbacks are gone, then I think Rousseau could be the best player available, and they go ahead and take him. I think he could make the defensive line, unbelievable, and he would get plenty of chances and one-on-one opportunities to go ahead and make his mark, because you're going to have Kinlaw and Armstead and Bosa all ready to rock. We expect Kinlaw to be better, and we expect Bosa obviously to take double teams, and Armstead to be better than he was this year. Rousseau would be able to be very successful, as most defensive ends would be able to be successful alongside the other players on the starting D-line for San Francisco. Make sure you guys are subscribed, though, for all this draft news, because we're going to break everything down. Like, as soon as the season ends, we go full-on draft and free agency mode and get you guys ready to go. That way you know all the players and know exactly who's going where and potentially who the 49ers could be taking with their probably teenish pick, because it's going to be in a 12, 13, 14 in the NFL draft. All right, Ruffle says, let Richard Sherman and Verrett walk, re-sign Mosley and Kwan, and draft first-round cornerbacks so we can play more man-to-man and send more blitzes like our 2019 was. Okay, corner does make the most sense in the teams. I just mentioned Gregory Rousseau, but if Patrick Surtain is there, they're taking Patrick Surtain. Like, they need a number one cornerback. Because, again, you say let Richard Sherman and Jason Verrett walk. Okay, those are your two best cornerbacks. Do you trust Emmanuel Mosley? K'Waun Williams is a great slot guy, and I love him in the slot, and they should re-sign him for sure. But I'd rather have Verrett over Mosley. I'd rather kind of keep Sherman over Mosley as well, even though he's a lot older. So do with it as you will, but I do think cornerback, the main question here is a cornerback in the first round. I think that right now would be my number one choice if I was guessing where San Francisco would go. That's where I would expect them to go ahead and go. Before we keep going, you guys should go to chatsports.com/49bet and sign up with our friends at BetUS to go ahead and jump in on some crazy good betting deals, because the promo code is still going, Niners125. You put the promo code in when you deposit $100, and it turns into $225 for your betting pleasure. The NFL playoffs are coming. The NBA is just starting off. We get baseball in a little bit here. Plenty of sports to bet on, not named the 49ers. So jump in with our friends at BetUS. Go to chatsports.com, again, /bet. Use that promo code Niners125. Leon says, how would you estimate the chance of drafting Zach Wilson in the first round? If we were to get him, should we start him or sit him a year behind Jimmy? I don't see them drafting Zach Wilson at all. I don't see them taking I think they would take Trey Lance over Zach Wilson any day of the week. I don't know. I'm just not very high on Zach Wilson as everybody else is, but I've seen him mocked as high as 3 overall. So I think he's going to go inside the top 10. They won't even have a chance to go ahead and draft him, but I wouldn't touch him. Nope, I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. Maybe he's going to turn out to be great. Who knows? But I think he's going to be gone by the time San Francisco is going to be picking, so don't have to worry about it anyway. RJ says, the most important position the 49ers need is... this is a corner-heavy show. The 49ers need to figure out corner. You got to figure out who you're going to take and who's going to be your cornerback of the future. And that starts, though, in free agency. That starts by deciding between Verrett and Mosley and K'Waun Williams and obviously Richard Sherman. They got to keep at least one, because you can't just have both cornerback slots open. What are you going to do, draft cornerbacks first, second, and third round and hope that one sticks? No. So figure that out in free agency, and then you can go ahead and figure it out in the draft. Maybe you don't draft anybody. Maybe you re-sign Sherman and Verrett. You say those guys are great. We're going to go and stick with them. Let's take Gregory Rousseau, or we'll take somebody else, and you go, fine. That's fine. You guys make the best decision that you guys possibly want. But I don't think that is. I don't think there's no scenario where they don't keep one of those guys, or they don't draft a cornerback, because they got to do something at corner, and that's probably the first domino that falls this offseason. Let's do a final question here. Frank says, do you think the 49ers will keep Jimmy Garoppolo? What do you guys think? I'll ask you guys this. Do you guys think they're going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo in 2021? Sure seems that way. We did a video yesterday where George Kittle really voiced his love for Jimmy Garoppolo. Was asked on a radio show, who's your quarterback? And he says the one who took us to a Super Bowl, and that, of course, is Garoppolo. I think he returns. I do. I was convincing myself they're going to trade for somebody, or they're going to sign somebody, or they're going to draft somebody, but if I was putting my money down right now, if my own $1,000, and it was who's the quarterback, I'd put on Jimmy Garoppolo right now. Just because Shanahan said it, John Lynch has said it, players have now said it, like we just said with Kittle, I think it's going to go ahead and be Jimmy Garoppolo. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, because they can, listen, trade for Carson Wentz, trade for Matt Stafford, sign somebody, draft somebody, who knows? They're going to look at everything, and they want to win Super Bowls, not make Jimmy Garoppolo happy. But if I was betting right now, I do think that Jimmy Garoppolo goes ahead and returns. There you go, the ultimate app for today here on our 49ers Report Mailbag. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, as it's probably being put out after New Year's, depending on when you guys are watching this. So happy New Year. Have a great and safe weekend. We'll get back to you guys next week after the Seattle Seahawks game, as the offseason is about to be underway. Again, ultimate app for today here on the 49ers Report. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.